Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm Hari, President of MECA Global Toastmasters Club. On behalf of the entire MECA Toastmasters community, which has 4 clubs under its umbrella, I welcome all of you to today's meeting with one of our distinguished coach and recognized speaker, Saleem Sufi. Saleem, welcome to today's meeting.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Before we start off having conversations with Saleem and getting to know more about leadership development, leadership skills, public speaking skills, I would like to have a quick intro of our MECA Toastmasters platform setup. We are 4 clubs together under one umbrella. MECA Global Toastmasters meets 8 to 9 a.m. EST on first and third Saturday. For our UAE and related location members, we have MECA UAE Toastmasters, and the club meets 10 to 11 a.m. Dubai time on second and fourth Saturday. For Saudi and related clubs members, we have MECA KSA Toastmasters, which meets on all Saturdays between 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Arab Standard Time, and we have MECA APAC Toastmasters, which meets 9 to 10:30 a.m. Karachi time on second and fourth Sundays. Our MECA Toastmasters clubs are being run by experienced club officers, and we have a total of 93 club members to date across 4 different clubs. Our MECA APAC club is being led by Khalid Noor as president, Javed Anjum as VPE, Azad Mirza as VPEM. We have Atul Bilai as secretary, Asif as treasurer, Humaira Siddiqui as sergeant at arms, and we are supported by our club mentors Jitendra Rawat and Valdi Santos. We have 15 members to date, and the club is growing with active participation from the existing members. MECA KSA Toastmasters Club for Saudi and those regional location members. The club is led by S.R. Sridhar as president, Mudassir Farooq as VPE, Mohammad Nauman as VP membership, Umar Shafiq as VP PR, Sanat Agarwal as secretary, Hidayatullah Baig as treasurer, Anand Pillai as sergeant at arms. We are being supported actively by mentors Sunny Kuruvilla and Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. The club has 29 members to date and is very active, progressing towards accomplishing President Distinguished Award from the Toastmasters International, and they are very well actively on the way. Our MECA UAE Toastmaster Club is actively led by our DTM BV Prabhakar as president, Dinesh Banu as VPE, Sandeep Kordoza as VP PR, Qamar Hussain as treasurer, Saleem Desai as VP membership, Sendal Kumar as secretary, Inzar Hussain as sergeant at arms. The club is mentored by TM Ravi Shankar. The club has active members of 22, and they are very well organized and actively progressing towards their DTM and the Distinguished Toastmaster Club awards. And the club have already met the distinguished credits. MECA Global Toastmaster Club is led by me as president, Tasvir Ahmad Khan as VPE, Busola Begide as VP PR and sergeant at arms, Sabine Ishtiaq as secretary, Victor Lanyan as VPM. The club is actively championed and supported by our co-founder Saleem Sufi, who is also our distinguished speaker of the day, and it's being supported by mentors Bruce Ford, Will Lukang, and Kathleen Diaz. The club has active 27 members and very active, meeting twice a month, progressing towards the distinguished club credits. With that, I would like to now introduce our speaker of the day, Saleem Sufi, who's well recognized in our MECA community and in our leadership community across the LinkedIn, where he has 33,000 members as followers. And we are looking forward to learn and hear and have conversations with our beloved coach and mentor, Saleem Sufi. Saleem, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Okay, so thanks for this nice formal introduction, Hari. I would like to keep it a little informal. As I said, I've not prepared any slides or any presentation because I thought the best we could really use this time is keep it a little bit more interactive. That is how you could get best idea from me, and that is how I could get best questions from you. So many of you are familiar with MECA, and most of you have gone through our flagship programs, Strategic CFO. By the way, we are starting 13 batch now from the next month. And many of you have completed this from 9, 10, or 11 batches. So during this journey, I mean, since I think 2012, we created this MECA CFO platform. And initially, we were more focused on doing the conferences in Dubai. I think we did 12 or 13 conferences, also one in New York. And from 2014, I would say my focus changed. And I realized that we were not really accomplishing much out of those conferences. So I started this formally, MECA CFO Academy at that time. And we immediately jumped into providing the leadership and strategy training. And since then, it's now, I would say, 7 years. And what I have learned in this 7 years, it has no comparison with my full life career in corporate. Because this was a journey very different. This is what I really wanted to pursue. How could I create a scenario, a platform where I could help other people learn and learn from themselves as well? So we have continuously learned. And the proof is that a couple of you who, Khalid Noor is present here. So Khalid started with the first program of CFO training in this platform. And Khalid, and after that, he's repeated 2 or 3 times this program. So he's a witness. Where did we start? And where do we have the platform where we are today? So we made significant progress. I learned a lot. My core focus is really helping the people practically in their life and career, not only in career, because we start with a career. But look, we are living an integrated life. We don't live life in compartments, that this is my work compartment, this is my personal life compartment. It's one life and it's short. So you cannot really split it into compartments or into divisions and really play different roles. It's one life, is integrated life, and you are one person, one integral personality with certain pros and cons. So from that point of view, the teachings or the coaching we focus on in this program is not only for work. It starts with the work and career, but it very well extends to your personal life and your family and everything which is part of your life. So that is what we really teach, and that we have learned. From that point of view, every time I started a new batch, I looked at the curriculum, looked at the format, and see what could we improve to make it better learning for people. Not only learning, but applying into the practical life and benefit from it. Because as I said, life is short. We cannot spend the whole life in just learning, knowledge development. We need to definitely learn, develop the knowledge, and jump into execution. So I proudly say that in today, the way MECA CFO program, strategic CFO program is taught, you learn anything on a day, and next day you could very well apply at your work. That is how practical it is. If it is knowledge building, you guys don't need it. Because if I look at the average profile of you or the community or the people who participate in the strategic CFO program, you are somewhere around the middle of your career, plus minus 40 years of age, with a family, with a lot of responsibilities, and you have already accumulated significant amount of knowledge. So you already know. I mean, it's hardly a matter that you would go to a training and you would find something which you never heard of, right? Most of the time, it's just reminders. You have heard something and it is presented to you in a different way with more emphasis. So it becomes a different priority for you, but you might have already heard about it, right? So you don't need much knowledge building. What you need is skill development. And the big difference between the two. Because most of the professionals, not only in this platform or in MECA community, wherever you look, they are all focused consciously or subconsciously on knowledge building. They go to training 1 day, 2 day, 3 day training. They watch training videos, they read books, and everything ends up in knowledge building. They learn some new knowledge, of course. And that's a very dangerous trap, because they feel that if you have developed the knowledge, they have learned something, they've accomplished their purpose. No way. We'll go to emotional intelligence training, for example, as Kazi mentioned, or they go to the communication and presentation training, and they develop a lot of knowledge. But when it comes to their application, they are nowhere close to where they are almost close to where they started. No change, right? So innocently, I would say that 90 to 95% of the professionals are only focusing on the knowledge development, knowledge build-up, and not really doing enough to skills development. So, so this is what we make one difference, that I teach people and advise people and explain them how could you take knowledge building, and it's important. I'm not saying that knowledge building is not required. It definitely required, but then you need to very quickly transition into some skills development and apply it at your work and in your life. That is how it works. So the biggest question for any training, for any learning platform is that what is the most important skill? What is the one single skill which really make my career successful or make my life successful? And usually people say communication, right? That is where you are from the Toastmaster platform, focused on communication and presentation. And no doubt, this is really very important, very crucial, very critical, and this is where most people struggle. But let's go a little deeper into it, try to understand that what really communication is. So in my opinion, in my personal philosophy, nobody has any problem with the communication skills. Everybody has the basic communication skills. And the proof is that you learn these skills very early in life. When you are young baby, like 3-4 years old, you started to develop that skills, right? And by the age of 6 and 7, you are perfectly speaking. Speaking is not a lack of a skill for human beings. You learn very early, and then all life you are practicing it. You are no short of vocabulary. You are no short of language skills. And you are no short of how to interact with other people, right? So basic skills are, then what are we talking about? That most people lack communication skills or presentation skills. It's not about the communication. It's about the level of comfort with people. So think of this scenario, listen carefully. Even at today, at this matured age, you are sitting, or at young age, you are sitting with your close friends. You're very comfortable with them, and you are talking and chatting with them, informally, of course. And you have no slightest feeling that you are lacking communication, or you don't know how to share the idea with those people, right? Similarly, you are sitting in a family setup, close family, and you are talking and flowing in your ideas and enjoying and laughing and really sharing and debating and arguing, right? This is communication. Where is the lack of communication? No, right? Suddenly, I take you from that family and close friend setup and put you into the corporate environment where you work. And these people are also not strangers, but there is formality. There are bosses, the bosses of the bosses. There are other colleagues who you don't like or they don't like. Quite reservation in the environment. And suddenly, you lose your ability to free flow communication. And you means that average professional. Suddenly, their all ability and comfort of communication goes away. And now they are struggling. So what is it? Is it really the communication skills, or it is their ability to speak to other people, or it's or their level of comfort with people, right? Take another example. You are on a long flight, 8 hours flight going to Europe or somewhere else, and there is another person sitting next to you. And in many cases, 8 hours passed by, the other person who is sitting 6 inches away from you, you don't even greet each other. You're just sitting silent, doing something on your own. The other person is doing something on their own. It feels awkward, but it happens many times, doesn't it? What is that? You lack communication, or they lack communication? No. But you lack how to break the ice, because they are strangers. You don't know them. You think that, or if they break the ice first and they start the conversation, you are very much willing to talk to them. And if that happens, in 2 minutes, you are enjoying the conversation. You are free flowing in your communication ideas exchanging. and you're enjoying the conversation and both parties are very comfortable. Where is the lack of communication? Nowhere, right? So what boils down is not about the communication, is about how to be comfortable with people. Because family and friends, you are very comfortable. You don't see any problem in communication, free flow ideas. But when it comes to a reserved environment where you don't know people and there is formality, it becomes a challenge. So let's try to focus on the real issue. Now, when it comes to the communication, let's also try to understand what type of communication is comfortable and what is not. So most of the time when we talk about the lack of communication or communication skills or presentation skills, we are talking of the formal presentations. You stand up in front of a group of people, many of them you don't know or you know, and then you have to make a flawless presentation in a very formal style, as if a single word is spoken wrongly, it would be very, very embarrassing. So you already develop and accumulate a lot of pressure on you that you have to make a perfect speech, right? And with practice, of course, you can make a perfect presentation. That is what I try to learn. But for people who are early in the journey, early in the career, it becomes very challenging. And that is where most people lose their confidence. How am I going to make a presentation to the board of directors? Or how am I going to speak to the 50 people in this forum for half an hour or for 1 hour? So communication is not about presentations only. Communication is what we are doing right now. I'm speaking to you, I'm talking to you. You are listening to me, right? And maybe at appropriate point of time, you will ask me some question, I'll try to answer that. Imagine, compared to a formal presentation you are making to a group of people, compare that situation with a conversation, even if it is a formal conversation, like so we are having a conversation, but it's a formal conversation. I'm trying to communicate some ideas to you. You are listening carefully and you will revert back to me with question or cross ideas to share with the group, right? How comfortable we are, because it's a conversation. I already told that I did not make any presentations or slides because I wanted to keep it informal and comfortable. I'm just talking naturally without any preparation, right? So what is the natural capability of human is the conversation or interaction with other people, not presentation. Now we have created this presentation or certain ideas or concept around it for the corporate purpose, corporate environment. Even it is not required, I would say. Many senior level executives or the leaders have the tendency or the style to really talk always informally. And you see that when they are talking informally, they are very comfortable. So my first advice, practical advice, take out that pressure from you. Even if you have to make a formal presentation, try to make it a conversation. Now, I know that in some cases, you may not interrupt the presentation. You have to complete the presentation, fine. So you are, as a professional, you will practice for that. But if it allows, and many situations or most situations, it would allow you to keep interactive. If you are sitting in a board meeting or an executive committee meeting, you can make it a conversation. Take a pause and say, if you have any questions for me. And you would realize that even if it is scary for many people, that what they may ask a question, I don't have an answer, but many times you are very comfortable and with the confidence that you know about your topic, you would always be able to answer that question. And the moment that conversation starts, question answer, the whole environment becomes very comfortable, very easy for everyone, whether they are participating in the conversation or not. So the main crucial point, idea, or question is that how could you make yourself comfortable with other people? Now, this is an habit. This is an habit. For example, back to the example of 8 hours flight journey. If you are in the habit of really talking to the people or talking to the strangers, you would start that conversation. You would break the ice, and you must have encountered people like that. If you develop that conversation to be comfortable with the people you don't know, you'll be comfortable with the executive team and the board of directors or any public meeting you will go, because you have learned how to be comfortable with people. Nobody is perfect. We are all have flaws. As soon as you accept that idea that I'm not perfect, I'm not trying to be perfect. I have some flaws, weaknesses, but I have some strengths. And so is with all other people. And I'm going to deal with other people They may also have some flaws and some strength. Let's work together, enjoy the interaction. And the whole thing would become very easy. Questions, ideas, reactions, observations, or any objections to this idea?
Well, thank you very much, Saleem, for a wonderful introduction on how to shift our mindset from presentation to having impactful conversations to convey our idea and generate the Q&A energy or Q&A culture within our meeting space to share our ideas to convey it impactfully. So thank you very much for seeding those thoughts in it. We have so many different leaders from different industry who are part of this call. I would like to give them an opportunity to ask questions. But I'll take, I kind of took some notes from the conversation that you have just shared. And back in 2014, when you looked when you had the vision to convert the conference style training to a platform oriented training, how did you put yourself into the vision and how did you commit to yourself that this effort or this style is going to succeed in the next 5 years or 10 years? How do you progress when you have uncertainty before you, but you have a vision and you want to take it forward?
So I had a very clear vision from early life when I even started my corporate career that I wanted to really interact with people, share my ideas and learn from them. And based on that vision and ideology, I tried to take every opportunity available in the corporate to do internal trainings. I was a trainer from the very beginning. Whenever I offered training myself. I will join a new organization as the CFO, and within 2 weeks, I will be doing the finance for non-finance training for the executive team. So that is how I did. When I started the conferences, I thought that I would continue the same mission and vision in a different format. So I tried to put together people, like 200 people brought into the conference room, and then I tried to bring some speakers or the senior CFOs and some people who are considered very visionary and let them share their ideas with the people. Now, to tell you the truth, I was quite disappointed by the quality of the present speech or talks or content they were sharing. Sometimes you get some good speakers, but most of the time, these were the people who came basically to demonstrate their own ego. That, look, I'm a speaker, I'm a big speaker. That is what their main purpose and objective, not really help people with useful and fruitful ideas. And I had a lot of ideas. Many times it was felt very difficult for me to control my temptation to jump in and share my ideas than their ideas. I let them finish, but I was not very much satisfied and happy with the quality of the content. So I said, look, I have a lot better ideas. So what should I do? Of course, I could do training. And that is how I gradually shifted my mindset because I was focused on the results. So if I bring 10 people from outside on a day conference, there is a lot of hassle, logistics and money and expenses and hotels. I would say I could do my own one-day training. And that is how I started to do it. And it came very positively, I would say. That the experience was very successful. People were started to get value, and I started to get a lot more fulfillment, satisfaction to really deliver my ideas or my vision. So that is how I gradually shifted from the corporate to the by the way, when I was doing conferences, I thought that I felt like an event manager. I said that was not my vision to become an event manager. So that helped me to shift my focus from corporate to conferences and to the CFO Academy, which today I feel from a purpose point of view, I feel very fulfilled, very lucky, fortunate that God has given me the opportunities that I'm fulfilling my long-time desire and I'm enjoying my role every day on this. That was a little answer to your question, Hari.
Thank you, Saleem. I truly believe that you connected your purpose and with your vision, and you look forward to executing it, and you've done it in style. We are very thankful for what you chose to do and the platform you have created, and for coaching us and for guiding us to excel in our careers. I'd like to open up to all the participants in this call. Please raise your hand using Zoom so that we know who has the questions first. And accordingly, I will give you the opportunity. I see a couple of hands raising already, so we have a lot of queued up participants here. Let's welcome Khalid Noor to stage. Khalid, welcome to the stage, and your question, please.
Right. Thank you so much, Harry, for organizing this meeting. I think it was quite overdue. But in Pakistan, we are having Ramadan time, so it's kind of very close to about, well, but great. And there is a good turnout. I'd like to thank Saleem for actually helping us, for helping me personally in my journey, in my career journey. And I think what Saleem did was actually giving you a platform and an opportunity to communicate, to network, to speak up, to make presentation. And these are important. These are important. The more you practice, your fear will go away. The other thing I picked up from Saleem was the habit of reading books. So he would share all the recent publications. And these are excellent talking points. So you pick up, I mean, how it helped me was that I would pick up points from Saleem's programs, Saleem's videos, and then I'll bring those into my conversation in my board meeting, in my business meetings, that these are some new ideas that is happening across the globe. And some of the case studies that we did together were amazing because you are looking at a problem from all over, from all the angles. So the case study method that Harvard actually proudly teaches, we were able to benefit from the program. So community, and I still believe that the success ladder, the ladder to career growth comes from communication. And that's how we've seen in the organization that those people who are comfortable speaking or questioning smart questions, you see them rising much, much faster than people who are working hard. And especially for finance people, they're busy in month-end closing, reporting, controlling aspects. We have to have the business insight, business acumen, and that would come through people interaction. You need to go out and meet your marketing people. You need to go out and meet your customers. And these are some of the tips that we picked up in our several interaction with people. And we all were struggling. I mean, the reason we were there in the program with Saleem is we were all struggling with our leadership. We were also struggling with our communication style. And this platform actually, I mean, some things worked and sometimes it doesn't work. I mean, the peer group, sometimes it has worked wonderfully and people are still connected. And I love the WhatsApp group where we throw a problem and we get 10 solutions immediately. And these are some of the value that we derive from this MECA platform. So on top of this, this platform of Toastmasters was amazing because you got professional help on public speaking and a practicing platform. And I would encourage everybody to join the MECA Toastmasters Club also, because you get another platform, another network, and another place to practice your leadership and your communication skills. So this has helped me a lot. As a president of APAC, I was able to assert myself in the meeting. I would give direction, organize. So it has been a great practicing for me also. And it also allowed my team members to organize certain things. But what I really like about the whole idea is about helping each other. And I would just narrate one story and then close. One of our members got unemployed at the very start of, and he was under a lot of pressure, but he did not give up. He kept on his free time to upskill himself. So he learned about Power BI, he learned about analytics. And then I referred him to another Toastmasters person. And guess what? He was starting out a new startup, and I connected both of them, and now he has a very exciting employment. So this platform not only provides opportunity to network, it can also help with career breaks, and you can impress a lot of new people on this platform. So thank you, Hari, for organizing this, and thank you so much, Saleem, for my confidence building journey.
So Khalid has been my oldest student. It goes back to 2008, 2009, and he has learned a lot from me, and I have learned a lot from me. And he has developed some very good habits from me. So recently he shared a book, Better, Simpler Strategy. I hope you could see that.
Yeah.
Khalid, this is about the
Yes.
value creation you sent me.
Absolutely, yes.
So this is a fantastic book. I immediately rushed to buy it because this replicates the basic philosophy I was teaching through value creation in my strategic CEO program. And this is by a Harvard professor, and he probably developed the same framework in a more formal way. Of course, he has written the whole books, but it was very close. So there were points of learning for me to further finalize and make it a little more sophisticated. But this came from Khalid. So I want to give him a full credit that this is the benefit advantage of really interaction. When you keep in touch with other professionals where you could learn and have them opportunity to learn from you, it multiplies. So thanks, Khalid.
Thank you, Saleem. Thanks for sharing it. And thanks, Khalid, for giving a beautiful story of how the platform, what Saleem has created, and we are building together is helping members to get new opportunities in their career. So thank you for that. I'd like to welcome Prabhakar to have to ask his question. Prabhakar?
Yeah. Thank you, Hari, and thank you, Saleem, for your session today. Your sessions always give us something to think over and then to implement. As you said, we may have all the skills as a finance professional. We may be a chartered accountant or a cost accountant or CPA, something like that. But so we might have accumulated the knowledge, but how to really implement this in our career, that is most important. And your CFO sessions always give food for thought. And I remember I did my CFO sessions with you sometime in 2018. And I remember particularly I'm fascinated by one particular slide, which I will present now. 1 second. This is the one. I think you're able to see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, CFO leadership competency model. So it has got 3 pillars. One is personal leadership, another is strategic leadership, and the third one is public leadership. Then in the personal leadership, we have this work-life integration, peak performance, emotional intelligence, personal branding, and then strategic leadership, we have strategic thinking, and public leadership, we have presentation skills, authentic leadership, relationship management, and service orientation. So what I think is, I firmly believe is this Toastmasters provide the perfect platform to practice all these, most of these skills, as mentioned in this particular slide, in personal leadership or strategic leadership or public leadership. So I believe that we must, whoever in MECA CFO forum as my members or alumni, they should seriously take this platform of the Toastmasters provided by the MECA CFO Academy, promoted by them. And they should leverage this advantage and develop their skills to further their careers. That's what I think. For this, in fact, you have actually, we have initially promised that there will be one session from Saleem, so to which we were eagerly waiting for so long, and that has become reality today. So, in fact, we have very, very quality meetings every month, at least 2 times, and the quality has been excellent. But only thing is the quantity, that is, attendance is not there. So we should actually ignite that interest in them, and if your presence will ignite more interest, and I'm sure they will participate more and more into the Toastmaster meetings and still benefit from them. That's what I'm just sharing my views. It is not really any question like that. So we invite you to more and more such sessions every month regularly, at least one session every month, so that the members' interest will be there.
Yeah, I have already committed that every quarter, because based on my schedule of the coaching for CFO program, in the months where there are 5 Saturdays, the 5th Saturday is always available for me. I've already committed to Hari that I could come to those Saturdays. Otherwise, every Saturday, the time you have these meetings, I'm very occupied with the coaching. So that is not possible. But one advice or suggestion, don't worry about the attendance much. Worry about the contents. that even there are 2 people, I'm very happy to see this, how many people, 20 people, I'm very happy. And I feel that my time is very effectively being utilized because you are hungry. You are here because you are hungry. Don't try to bring the people who are not hungry because they would only create noise for you. And if they know what are the content, they will come, no way, no matter, they will come. So just ensure that those people you invited that they could not attend, just send them the recording and let them watch the recording, and next time they will be there themselves. But don't focus too much, don't spend too much energy on the bringing attendance. Just focus on the contents and people will come. Believe me, people will come.
Thank you, Saleem. That's a powerful message that quality is important and our focus on quality has to be there. So thank you very much. And also thank you for your commitment to help us on a quarterly basis to share your knowledge and share your expertise with us. And we look forward to you as well.
Look, this is not a big deal for me. I mean, this is my opportunity to really interact with you, connect with you, speak with you, because I don't have to make any extra effort or any cost for it. I'm just available, and it's my opportunity, it's my really joy to speak to people like you.
Thank you, Saleem. Thank you very much. I would like to give the next question opportunity to Leon Verdes. Leon.
Thank you, Hari, and it's a great opportunity today to interact with all of us here who are really committed to improving ourselves. And when I look at the message which Saleem has been sharing today, I think this is something I had been struggling with, which was trying to all the time gain knowledge, but not converting that knowledge into skill. And that's something which over the period of time I realized that unless if you have to learn to swim, you need to first jump in the swimming pool, keep swimming every day, and that's the habit which drives you to become successful.
Yeah.
And in Toastmasters, I believe that if you have to improve your communication skills, it starts with practice and commitment and regularly being there, because that's what brings that level of improvement all the time. Every time we learn together, every time we communicate, I think we try and improve every single time. So that's a very important part of the journey which I have been with Toastmasters and with entire MECA, is to try and learn and develop the skill every time, because it happens with small steps which we take. That's the first point which I look at. The second thing I think it's very important is as professionals to give back. And the more we give back, I think the more we learn and learn together. So I'm always very grateful to be part of any network where I can help fellow professionals together. And I think this is a great journey which we are all together. So thank you, Saleem, and thank you to the entire MECA Toastmasters Forum for helping fellow professionals like me to improve every single day.
So just one point I would like to reemphasize, because this is really key, that don't forget that you need to make yourself comfortable with people before you focus on the communication and interaction. And the best way is to go where the people are. If you are staying in your cube or office in the name of busyness, that I'm too busy, I cannot attend that meeting, you are missing a big opportunity, because that's also part of our fear of the people. We don't want to go to the meetings. We don't want to go to the strangers, meet them. So develop that habit first, that you are comfortable. You really need to enjoy with people, number one. Number two, don't forget that one of the challenge for many people is not only the comfort with the people, but contents, what to speak. In my career initially, I really had a big challenge, because I wanted to speak to people, speak to executives, senior people, other people, but I don't know what to talk about. And when I started to learn about strategy, that is still my favorite topic, I learned how to speak. So I would go to a CEO and ask a simple question: where do you see this company 5 years from now? And that a good starter for the conversation. And then they will speak for another 15 minutes. I would just listen. And at the end of the conversation, they will feel that I'm a very good conversator. No, I simply ask a question, but that was the right question to ask, right? So contents are very important. What we cover in the strategic CEO program is, as I said, knowledge building. You cannot pass that step. You need to develop the knowledge, but the knowledge we develop is a very unique contents, right? Once you go through 12, 15 modules of strategy and leadership and technology, you have a lot of contents. But most will stop there. Okay, I learned, that's good enough for me. No, you need to use that contents and start conversation. If you are sitting in the cafeteria on the lunch, start informal conversation with other people. Whenever you have opportunity sitting in the meeting, asking question, what could be easier than that? If you are challenged with how to start a conversation, just craft few relevant questions for any situation and just ask one question, and you will trigger other people to really talk about it for another 15, 20 minutes. And you will get all the credit because people will think that you initiated that idea. How easy it is. So I just want to emphasize that point, that it's very easy to be among the people and then ask the questions to trigger the conversation and develop that habit of sharing the content from your side. Whatever you learned today, ensure that you share at least with one person by tomorrow.
Awesome. That's a great message, Saleem. Thank you. And it reminds me of the great title with the book called Good Leaders Ask Great Questions.
Yeah.
And when someone is asking questions, they're actually helping the fellow participants also to learn the knowledge from the response. So thank you very much for that. I'd like to now welcome Yasha Sridhar to have his next question or thoughts. Sridhar?
I do not have any questions. I would like to thank Saleem for organizing this platform. And I have been in his course for 2 years, 2.5, 3 years. I've been with him, and I did almost all the programs he had initiated, like communication, data science, whatever he started at that time. And it was really the course was very good. And this MECA also, when we initiated the Toastmasters program, we really worked on that, and then we are doing great. And then we find how what I would like to raise, I would like to give back to people, because I've been at Toastmasters for long years. So I thought giving back to our peers, our CFOs, it would be a great platform. And also volunteered to support Saleem on many other programs and to his initiative. I like this because the way selflessly brings out program in a very low price, which is Harvard program, by the way. All the programs which are in Harvard, thousands of dollars, 50,000 maybe, but then we are doing it in a very low but valuable price, and the amount of benefit we get is so good. It's an exponential benefit, I would say. So I was very happy to support him in all the initiatives, and we in MECA Toastmasters in scale, we are doing great. And there are challenges.
So Sridhar, I think your audio quality is, there's a problem with that. So yeah. All right, so I'd like to move on to the next participant. So maybe you want to check your audio quality once more, and we'll come back to you once it's sorted out. I'd like to ask Venu. Venu, welcome to the stage. Your question, please.
Thanks, Harry. Thanks, Saleem, for such a good conversation. So my background is I've been with the company for a very long time, and I just moved to a new organization. And I have a pretty large group that I need to get a buy-in from upper management as well as my own team. So I was just trying to find out what framework or strategies would you apply to come into an organization where you're still learning the culture, how the relationships work, how the departments are still working, and try to get a buy-in, have presentations where you are trying to negotiate something or inspire your team. But what's the framework you generally would say is a successful one or more effective one?
How long have you been on the new job?
2 months.
Okay. You are passing through that phase actually. Typically it's a 90 days or 3 months time frame where you try to settle in and create buy-in for you. One common mistake people do is that they try to sell themselves. which is a big mistake. You need to create a buy-in, not selling yourself. And the difference is that you want to demonstrate your knowledge and expertise and your brand from your side for people to sell yourself. You should, at least for the first 3 months, you should portray an image or type of personality where you are in the learning mode. Ask questions for them to share their experience. Even if you know the answer, ask them questions. How should I do that? How do these things that happen here? And another tendency people make as a mistake is to bring example from the previous company. Oh, in my company, this is what happened. This is used to happen. So they are basically, you are saying that there are better ways to do than what you're doing. This could be true. But again, you need to be very careful with the psychology of the people. They don't want to listen to those things. Even if they believe that you are coming with a better environment or with more experience, they don't like to listen to those things. So at least for the first 3 months, try to control your temptation to share your experiences or share your brand, and just try to learn in a learning mode. Learn as much as you can from junior people, from your same level people or senior people. And then with this approach, you will create a buy-in for yourself, which means that you're in a better relationship with the people. There is more rapport in the relationship. People are more able to listen to you. And then you gradually shift from a buy-in mode to selling mode for your brand and your whatever you offer. So that's a fundamental strategy I think people should follow in a new job. And I hope that you are following the same as well.
Thank you so much, Saleem.
Yeah.
Thank you, Venu. Saleem, I would like to say that Venu and I are Rutgers Executive MBA cohorts, and it's my pleasure to have Venu in this platform along with us to share knowledge.
And that gives me the sort of endorsement that when people like you come to my programs or my learnings, then I have a lot of opportunity to learn from you. Because you are bringing what you are learning from the best of the best schools on the table, and that might become my channel to really learn from you as well and apply those things in my program as well.
Thank you very much, Saleem. And thanks, Venu, for asking a great question. I'd like to just quickly go back to Sridhar, and we have 5 to 7 more minutes. I want to give opportunity for those who haven't asked the questions yet. So, Sridhar, if you want to give your closing comments.
Yeah, it was a great course. And then what I would like to do that let us continue and support these courses, and I bring more people so that, people become more aware. One of the person is going to join the program. My friend is going to join the next CFO program. And definitely I'm willing always there to coach or give any support to give back like we are doing in Toastmasters also. And glad to say that within a few days, our MECA KSA will become President's Distinguished Status by next week. Next week.
Well done. Thank you for your leadership, and thanks for all the fellow club officers for getting that distinguished club, and to have a meeting for on all the 4 weekends, and with a club of 27 members. That shows the passion and commitment of the leadership team to execute the vision and the strategy that you have, and then champion that cause to the next level. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank for your club leadership. Saleem, do you want to add any thoughts to Sridhar's comments?
Yeah, so Sridhar is a very dedicated learner, and he is in love affair with MECA. So thank you very much, Sridhar, for this. What he just said in different words is very true. That whenever I launch a new program, new batch, the only part of my current job I don't like is marketing, because I'm not a marketer at core, but I have to do it. Because if marketing is a brutal reality of today's world. If Apple doesn't do marketing, even they won't be able to sell their products, right? So I have to do necessary marketing, but I really don't like it, and I'm not a good marketer. So what really happening now, that with the increasing number of alumni, I think there are now close to 300 people. Many people like Sridhar, they try to promote the program on their own. And that's probably the best marketing tool or way to really tell other people, because new people who are not familiar with MECA, they want to learn something, but they don't know much about the program. So if you have gone through that 12-month period, who could be the best person to really tell a newcomer that what this program offers. So many people before the program, joining the program, they will say that the price of this program is too high, which could be true for some people. But after they have gone through the program, they say price is too low for this program, because they have gone through it, they've seen what is the value. So this part, if I tell from my side, I don't feel good about it, because this is really boasting about you or your program. If you could tell the people as an alumni what you have gone through, what is benefit, that's the best way you could return whatever obligation you feel towards me and towards MECA. So we are starting batch 13, starting next month. It's right now open, enrollment is going on. If you want to bring any people from your friend circle, other people you think they really need help, please do this favor. Or also, if you are considering, those of you who have not attended that program, please look into the program seriously and see if you could join. Or if you have done this, anyone who has done this program before batch 10, if you have done 9 or before, I think it makes sense to repeat that program. And I would offer you a reasonable discount to really make it more worthwhile for you. But also for anyone who wants to join this program, batch 13, right now at this forum, I'm offering you 500 discount. This is the maximum discount we offer in this program. And I'm offering you right now, if anyone present or are not present from the Toastmaster circle, they want to join this program, this is available for today. Now, why today only? Because today is 30th April. Like all other sales people, I also have some target for this month. So if you enroll today, that would really help me. And to reward you for that help, I'm offering you 500 discount, which is the maximum discount we offer for this batch. So you could go to the MECA Sufi website, batch 13, you go there. And if you need the discount code, then just let me know and I'll pass on the discount coupon code for you to avail that discount.
Thank you very much, Saleem. And I do have to acknowledge what you're saying, that some of the concepts, the core concepts we learn from MBA and look to apply, you make in the CFO program in a very condensed format. You take the essence of what we could study in a postgraduate program. You are conveying that essence in a one-year capsules and allowing us to experiment with it, allowing us to apply on a weekly basis. So thank you very much for what you're doing.
I think the biggest upgrade we have in the last 2 batches is bringing the Harvard material, Harvard study material. So we have full access to the Harvard teaching material, actually, which is only available to their professors. And we use, for the last 2 batches, we use the simulation exercise, strategy simulation, case studies, and some other tools, which I also give me opportunity to learn myself. But also people are benefiting the same quality, which is enjoyed by the MBA students of Harvard. You are getting the same stuff from this platform now at almost no price.
Thank you very much, Saleem. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
I'd like to, we are right at the hour. I would like to ask if anyone has a closing questions. If not, I would like to give 2 minutes to Saleem to give us closing remarks. Please, Saleem, your closing remarks and thoughts for us, please.
So closing remarks again, circle back to what I have been trying to emphasize here. I could tell you what we have experimented or experienced in the last batch, which is batch 12. So batch 12 we started January. And as I said, that every time I try to learn from whatever we could improve. This time, I think Khalid mentioned about the struggle with the peer groups. Yes, I agree with that. That has been a struggle because not everybody buys into it. But look, peer group is the best format to develop the level of comfort with other people. Peer group is the best platform to practice your speaking and conversation skills. Peer group is the platform where you could replicate your work environment, corporate environment into a situation where you could make mistakes, right? So I'm very, very much sold on the idea that peer group is really the key to your success. So in batch 12, we re-emphasize by changing the format of the peer groups, which means that making it more smaller groups, change the peer group leadership every month, change the composition of the group every 3 months, and provide more structured assignment, provide more structured monitoring and guidance. And I could tell you, now we are at the end of April, it's working the best batch in terms of the peer group. So my advice back to you is find out opportunity wherever, MECA platform or Toastmaster platform or your own circles. Find out the opportunity where on a regular basis, you could meet other like-minded people in your profession. And you have this Toastmaster as well as MECA platform, and try to develop the habits of interaction, talking to them, discussing ideas, discussing situations or problems at your work. So every one of us is in a senior level position where you face a lot of problems every day. And I wrote an article on LinkedIn 2 days ago. The title is "Do Not Go Alone." If you have a chance to read it, it's very short. But the idea is that we think, so it's a very important responsibility we are trying to go through, running our job, developing our career, and face a lot of problems. So many times, most professionals think that they have reached to the level of intelligence or maturity, they could handle their problems themselves. Nothing could be farther than the truth. The beauty of human mind is in interaction. So think of this, that you are struggling with an idea for a few days. You are confused. You are not able to make a decision, right? For a few days. And then you share that idea with someone else. It could be your spouse, it could be your friend, it could be your another colleague or some mentor or some coach. And after you have spoken that idea, shared that idea with the other person, you suddenly realize that things are much clarified in your mind. Even if the other party has not added much value to the conversation, simply by sharing the idea, you feel much more clear about the issue idea, and you can make a decision, right? What happens that the way our brains are developed for human being, it flourishes and thrives on interaction. We are all social beings, right? You could do certain things all alone yourself, but when you combine with another human being, another person, if that person is wiser and intelligent than you, then the magic happens. And your brain is started to operate at a much higher level. So this goes back to the idea that find out opportunities to work with other people, please. Don't try to run your life all alone. And it goes to work life, private life, personal life. And then after that article, I asked another question through a survey in LinkedIn. And my question was that if you have a problem at work, which you are not able to make a decision, you're confused, who would you ask advice for? The 4 options were your boss, your best trustworthy friend, your spouse, or your mentor or coach. Guess what? What was the answer? So, coach. Of course, that's obvious. That's obvious that you should go to a coach or mentor. But tell me, how many people have a real coach or mentor they could really go in practical situation? Everybody understands the answers. Everybody knows the answer. I need to go to a mentor. But is there a mentor or coach around where you could actually go and talk about your issues, right? So that was very obvious. But other thing is that I think a spouse was at the lowest preference option. A spouse. This could be your husband and your wife. Now think of this. This aspect I wanted to check about the work-life integration. That look, for many of us who are in the corporate jobs, we, based on belief system or based on whatever philosophy you have, you don't want to really bring issues to the family or to your spouse or your kids, which is, I respect that. But when it comes to the spouse, that the person you have chosen for your life, to face the life joys and miseries together. And you have, I hope, a lot of good understanding with that person. Even if that person is not familiar with your work environment or your work culture, you could share anything you want. Now, if you bring that problem to a spouse or share with the spouse, first of all, look, human brain for men and women are very differently structured. So maybe things you cannot think, your spouse could think about it, and that is how you would get access to those ideas. It may add the confidence and trust into the relationship, that at least you consider your spouse as a person where you could share your very intimate career-related or professional issues. And it could add to the diversity of the relationship. So this is my view about a spouse, and that adds that, because in my personal life, I've created transparency with my family and work. My wife visits me when I was working in the corporate. Whenever there is an opportunity, she will visit me just to be familiar. What is the environment I'm working? What are the people I'm working with? And then I will also share my family experiences with the work colleagues. So there was more of transparency. That is how I live my work-life integration. The other option was boss, which is, I don't think it's a good choice, because if you take the issues to the boss, the first impression the boss may have that you are not able to solve your problem yourself. So you are going to the boss for help. But in many cases where you have a very good relationship with the boss, that will also add confidence to the relationship, that you are honestly, sincerely asking for boss help. And many people would appreciate that. Trustworthy friend, of course, that's a good choice. If you have a good circle of friends who understand your profession, who are familiar with the work environment, they could always be of great help, and they could serve as a mentor or coach if you don't have a real professional mentor. The point I'm trying to make here as a last message, that make yourself comfortable with the people. Find out and create opportunity to interact with the people, share ideas, ask questions. And that is the best thing you could add to your new habits in the corporate journey. And everything else really would not be as much relevant as it looks, except these skills of being comfortable with the people and developing the ability to interact and exchange dialogues and ideas with the people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saleem. And once again, on behalf of our MECA Toastmasters members and platform, I would like to thank you for your valuable time that you chose to spend with us and give your insightful conversations and insights and experience for us to get better in our work and life. I want to summarize our key takeaways that shift the mindset from delivering presentations to having impactful conversations. That's number one. Number two, ask questions to trigger meaningful conversations and gain access to people's network and mindset. Number two. Number three, develop network, share your ideas, and enable your partner in your life also to be your mind sharing partner. So that way, the work-life integration becomes a truly meaningful part of the work, and we can enrich our decision making, our knowledge building along with our life partner, and build our career and make a meaningful work life and with a purpose, and having a fulfillment both at work and life. Without your insights on today's call, we wouldn't have gained these expertise and knowledge. So thank you once again for your wonderful knowledge and experience sharing with us. Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me on.
Sure. Thanks, Saleem, and thanks everyone for your wonderful time. Hope to see you in your next quarterly meeting. That will be in July, last Saturday. So mark your calendars. We'll meet again in July. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you for
Bye-bye.
a valuable meeting.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz.
Goodbye. Happy Ramadan. Thank you.